Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Well, that feels weird to say. So, as I'm sure you guys are well aware by now, there's a new patch coming out on Tuesday, December 4th, and the patch notes for this went up last night, so I'm a little late to the party on this one. There we go, real life keeps rearing its ugly head. Keep whacking it now with that comic whacker, but no joy. Such is life. So, better late than never, let's have a look at this patch and see what's what with it. First things first, this is one of the big ones, and by big I actually mean kind of quite tiny. It's, if I understand correctly, around about 30 megabytes on PC. It's bigger on console, but still, it's a hell of a lot smaller than the last few, so that's a massive improvement. So, step in the right direction there, and that's before we even start looking at the meat of the thing. So, our latest patch for Fallout 76 will bring an increase to maximum stash storage. There's the big one. That's something we've all been wanting for, well, pretty much since the beta, so good to see that's coming, something Bethesda are clearly listening to us on, contrary to their current rhetoric. There we go, so additional performance and stability improvements, fantastic, I definitely want to see some of those, please. Balance changes, okay. And many bug fixes. Now that's quite impressive in such a small patch. Alright, so 3 gigabytes, still tiny for the consoles there. And yeah, 36 megabytes on PC, but compared to the 36 gig or whatever the last one was, I'll take that. I will take that happily. General performance. PC frame rates once again uncapped. However, reaching very high frame rates will no longer cause movement speed to increase. Wonderful. That's why they introduced the frame cap in the first place. I'm guessing they just increased the frame cap on the previous patch, because I've noticed the frames are significantly higher. Still plummet on occasion, so hopefully they'll work on that. But that's, if they've uncapped it, that's a good sign for what they expect the game to be able to cope with as well. So that's cool. Supposedly originally fixed in the November 19th patch. That's presumably the speed thing, but they've uncapped it even further from the sound of it. Cool. Stability. Game client and servers have received additional stability improvements. There was a tiny little patch the other day about that, actually, which I had somewhat mixed responses on, but that may have been on my end. There we go. So, camp crafting and workshops. This is the big one. Maximum stash storage has been increased by 50% to £600. Not huge, but it's a step in the right direction. As long as we're smart and don't immediately just throw a ton more junk into our collective stashes, then we've got a little bit more headroom. So don't jump in all at once. It's a good change, but not quite as big as we might like. But, as they point out here, this is a conservative adjustment, and we plan to increase the storage cap further in the future once we've verified this change does not impact the stability of the game. So, as I say, we'd like more. Looks like once they know how to do it and everything's working properly, we'll get more, which is great. And I'd much rather they took their time and didn't muck it up completely than, just go, okay, let's just uncap it and have the game just crash and burn. That would suck, to be honest. So yeah, it's a step in the right direction, and it's a controlled step, which is the right call. Balance. Enemies. XP rewards for killing high-level creatures have been reduced. Okay. Can't say I'd noticed a massive jump in my XP when I did beat something at a significantly high level, but there we go. I haven't gone crazy on that, I suppose. So if this is causing people to run out, farm high-level enemies, absolutely cheese them and just try and get the levels as fast as they can, well, to be honest, they're kind of ruining their own experience with that, in my opinion, so making it more difficult is probably not a bad change. It'll certainly help people get more life out of the game, if nothing else. Bosses. Fixed an issue affecting instance boss loot. Players should now correctly receive 2 to 4 items per boss, depending on the creature's difficulty level. Difficulty and level, rather. Which are kind of the same thing anyway, I suppose. Okay, that's cool. So we knew that wasn't working properly anyway. I noticed a fair few times where I've killed a boss enemy with a little crown over his head. And I've got, well, jack all for it, really, but on other occasions I'll do really quite well and come up with 5 or 6 items, so it's been steadied out a little bit, and hopefully we should get a bit more consistent drops. That's good. Weapons. Automatic weapon damage has been increased by approximately 20% across the board. Hell yeah! I've just switched to using some more automatic weapons, so I'm happy about that. I'd have to admit, the idea was to have them for close combat for me, or closer combat, and particularly be able to hold my own when in trouble. Shotguns are fine, but the delay between each shot was problematic. You kind of didn't get a second chance if you mucked it up. So yeah, I'm happy with that. It definitely felt a little underpowered to me, so hopefully that should mean those who carry automatic weapons will be dishing out significantly more punishment. Just got to figure out how to get enough ammo to keep them stocked now. So PvP. Weapon effects. Hitting another player with a Cryolator now applies a chilled, frosted or frozen status based on how many times they're hit. Okay. Duration of movement speed and speed reductions applied by these effects have now been significantly decreased. Yeah, from what I read the other day, they were absurdly high before. So it's actually making it a more viable, balanced effect in PvP, which is cool. So yeah, positive step in the right direction. I've not really used a Cryolator. Pretty sure it's still a heavy weapon, and for this playthrough at the very least, I'm not going down that road. Bug fixes. The infamous bugs. Stability and performance. Console fixed an issue that could cause the player to encounter an infinite loading screen when signing out of the console account while playing Fallout 76. Okay. I'm guessing if you're not actually signed into your account when you're playing and you go through a load screen, you never come back out of it again. Guessing that's what they mean. So yeah, definitely needed fixing. Presumably from the fact it says just console, that's both Xbox and PS4. Xbox specific, addressed a crash that could occur when sending multiple team invites immediately after exiting Vault 76 to a player who is not a friend. Okay, so people are just getting straight into the game and wanting to team up and try out the multiplayer thing, not having a good time on Xbox, and they're trying to fix that. The whole social thing's been a bit iffy anyway, and still needs a little bit of fine-tuning, so that's a step in the right direction. Hopefully it'll continue to get better. The problems I had noticed, I haven't noticed recently when I've played with the social menu a little bit, so that's positive. Cool. Power armor. Fixed an issue affecting power armor frames that could prevent the player from exiting their power armor. Okay, yeah, I can see why that'd be annoying. Certain actions can't be completed from inside power armor, so yeah, need to be able to get out. Nuke silos. Okay, I'm a little scared of this. I've not seen the inside of any of those yet. Flipboards inside Flipboards? What? Inside nuke silos no longer display portions of launch codes too soon after the codes were reset for the week. Okay, I'm not quite sure about the ins and outs of that, as I've not spent any time there yet. Yeah, like I said, I can't really comment on that. I haven't seen enough of it yet. But something's not working the way it's supposed to, and hopefully now it will. So, yeah, I'll take it. Camp, workshops and crafting. Moving camp locations will now correctly move standalone items built by the player into the build menu stored tab. Okay, so individual items, presumably things like turrets and generators and stuff, weren't being stored properly, and apparently that's fixed now. Good. Workshops. On PS4, wires will no longer appear to float in midair when attempting to connect two or more objects. Yeah, I've seen that little effect sometimes when I've connected some wires on PC and they've just been left with a sparking end even though it's correctly attached, so I'm guessing it's something to do with that. Let's see, if it's still happening on PC, maybe that's one to go to a bug report. Turrets will no longer become invisible if a player is not present at their camp when the turrets are destroyed. Okay, it makes repairing them kind of difficult if you can't see them, so, or storing them or scrapping them or whatever. Perk cards, okay. Ranking up a perk card will no longer cause a duplicate to appear. Can't say I've had that particular piece of good luck, but yeah, okay. Just a little thing, but it needs doing. Balances the game more, that's good. So, social. Teams. Fixed an issue that could prevent a team from being correctly formed in a game world after creating the team on the main menu. Okay. When both players are using new characters. Okay, so if you're trying to start new playthroughs and team up before you load in, so you start in the same world from the get-go, presumably explore the vault together, then there were issues that they've now fixed, apparently. Cool, okay. Display durations for social notification have been reduced when many notifications are pending. This should help address the issue in which players did not see that they had successfully joined a team. Okay, too many notifications clogging up the system, fair enough. That should be reduced if they're clearing themselves faster. Yeah, makes sense. Survival. The electrically charged and unstable isotope mutations no longer provide the player with bonus health. AFK. Players will now be disconnected from game world after 10 minutes of inactivity and will be prompted with a timer 1 minute before being kicked. Yeah, that's a nice little quality of life thing. I assume there's a reason for kicking players beyond, you know, whoops, they forgot to log out, but I think it has something to do with the servers, but okay, that's fine. Being prompted beforehand is a good thing. Get distracted or whatever. Start looking at your Twitter if you're me or something. So the atomic shop on PC, cursor position will no longer be disjointed from clicks in the atomic shop while using 1610 resolutions. Okay. Very niche thing, but that's fine. Enemies, red crosshairs and enemy health bars will no longer persist on screen when an enemy is no longer in view. Okay, so yeah, it makes it harder to track enemies when they move out of sight. Okay, that adds more to the challenge of the game, adds to the immersion as well. So yeah, always down for that. One of my favourite things about the game at the moment. It's more challenging than Fallout has been for some time, at least to me. That's cool. And immersion has been one of my favourite things about the game as well, so anything that makes that better is definitely good. Localization. Subtitles now appear correctly, and English voiceover will play for game clients in languages that do not have their own localized voiceover when listening to a holotape or interacting with robots. Okay, so presumably it was playing nothing, I'm guessing, and just giving you the subtitles? Which, yeah, that kind of sucks. It should mean things are smoother in terms of the experience and immersion. Up to a degree anyway, so that's cool. Pip-Boy, fixed an issue that could cause duplicate data to appear in the Pip-Boy's stat and effects interfaces. Okay, so it's just working better. Respawn. Dying while severely over-encumbered will no longer remove all map markers when attempting to respawn. Instead, the player can now respawn at the nearest discovered map marker. That's how it's supposed to work, but as I understand it, a few people, quite a lot of people, have run into this particular bug with a great deal of irritation, which I get, because over-encumbered is something that happens a lot in this game. Yeah, the only place you could respawn was back at Vault 76, so depending on how far away you were, rather, that could be a exponentially increasing problem, I suppose. Want of a better way of putting it. Yeah, it's good to see that fixed. I know it's bugged quite a few people. Sorry, bad pun. So, not the biggest patch ever. Not the worst thing ever in that either, because at least we don't have to spend a week downloading it this time. Stash size is the really big thing that everybody's been clamouring out for, and they're sensibly increasing it and doing so in a smart manner, so that's cool. Very happy about that. Hopefully, look forward to seeing more coming in the future. Balance is generally a good thing. Balance and immersion, and a few more irritating bugs and some that I've not run into squashed. So yeah, all in all, reasonable patch. Not huge, but that's fine. On the flip side of it not being huge, however, though, they are planning another patch a week later, which has also got some very, very cool features coming in it. So there's a couple of those that I'm really excited for, particularly to do with the camp system. So obviously I'll be doing a video on that when the patch notes drop for that, which will presumably be next Friday. This time now I've actually got a reasonable estimate of when the patch notes will drop. Hopefully I'll be on that when they actually do. So yeah, good improvements coming. Bethesda obviously reading the bug reports, listening to the community, and moving things in the right direction. One step at a time. These things have to be done a bit by bit. There's only so much you can do in a day, as it were. But yeah, that's very, very cool. Look forward to seeing what they've got next for us, and yeah, look forward to trying that out. Speaking of trying it out, I will be having a few more videos coming up over the next few days. My current 4 Simple Builds video is doing quite well. I'm very, very happy about that. So if you haven't already checked that out, it's got a couple of very practical builds for moving your camps around in, so do take a look at that. My next stream will probably be Wednesday night, so this patch will be live by then. I've got a friend visiting over the next couple of days, so I will be somewhat occupied and unable to stream during that time. So yeah, for now, that's everything. So thank you very much for watching. Do hope you enjoyed. If you did, you know what to do. Social media links down in the bottom should be popping up on screen somewhere about now as well. I'll keep up with me on there, and do drop by on one of the streams as well. I've been having a lot of fun with the game. It's great fun to hang out, so I hope to see you there. Thank you very much, and I will be speaking to you all very, very soon.